Hey guys, hope you are doing well. In today's video, what we are going to do is we are going to verify or we are going to configure how to do simultaneous routing on Teams as well as Cisco IP phone. So what do I mean by that is like, let's say if there is a user who is sitting on call manager and his extension is 10,001. Now this guy is trying to reach, let's say, another user, which is Avinash 10,003. Now, this 10,003 will be configured on Call Manager as well as this 10,003 is also configured in Teams. So that means Avinash is having extension in the Call Manager as well as in the Teams. So uh, when this guy calls on 10,003, so the call will ring on the Cisco IP phone as well as Teams phone. So wherever Avinash is available, so Avinash can pick the call and answer that call. So by that fashion, the call is active wherever Avinash is. So he does not necessary to be sitting on the office to take calls on the Cisco IP phone. He can answer this call on his cell phone wherever he is working from. So likewise, there is another user, Nikita, right? So Nikita is using a Cisco IP phone as well as this desktop. So when you call Nikita, or let's say Nikita calls, or let's say Avinash calls Nikita, right? So from Avinash Teams, Avinash is dialing Nikita's Teams number. So the call will simultaneously ring on Nikita's team as well as Cisco IP phone. So maybe Nikita is in office right now, so she can answer the call from the IP phone as well as from the desktop. Or let's say if she's working from home, she can answer the call on the Teams desktop. So in this way, we are going to make sure like the calls are routing to both the applications or both the infra, whether it's CUCM or Teams, right? So the drawback what I have observed so far is if you have enabled simultaneously calls routing between Teams and call manager, right? At that particular moment, you will not be able to leave any voice messages. So let's see if this guy Avinash, this guy 10,001 user is calling Nikita. So the call will ring on both the phones here, and Nikita is not able to answer the call. The call will not go to voicemail. So the call will ring, and after that, it'll disconnect. It will not allow the user to drop a voice message to Nikita. So this may be possible. I'm not saying that this is not possible, but I've not explored that option so far. But at this moment, what we are focusing in this particular uh, video today is call routing between Teams and Call Manager simultaneously. So, how we are going to achieve this is we have to do some configuration on the Teams as well as audio codes as well as call manager. So the kind of configuration what we need on the call manager side is SNR configuration. So basically, let's say these two users, right? So for example, let's take an example of Avinash. So Avinash is having an extension phone number of +918010,003 as a normal extension. So what we are going to do is we are going to configure a remote destination profile and remote destination associated to this particular phone. And on this remote destination, what we are going to say is, okay, any call coming to Avinash extension, you route it to Teams to +918010,003. And when the call goes to the Teams, so obviously it'll ring on Teams as well as Cisco IP phone, and wherever the call is answered, so the other stream will drop. So which means if I answer the call on this particular Teams phone, so the call will stop ringing on this particular phone because the stream is established between Teams as well as this Cisco IP phone here. It will not no more ring on this particular Cisco IP phone when the call is once answered. So this is the kind of configuration that we are going to use in Call Manager. And in case of audio codes, what we are going to do is we are going to create some manipulation rule. But let me talk about audio codes in a bit because you have to understand like why we are creating that manipulation rules on the audio codes. Now, on the team side, what we are going to do is we are going to configure a call routing, a simultaneous call ring on. So what we'll do is we are going to send this call back to the call manager. Now, the question is how we are sending this call back to the call manager, or how we are sending this call from the call manager to Teams. So now, to give an example here, I have written a small note here. So on the CUCM side, we are going to create a SNR with a remote destination. So for example, let's take an example of Avinash. The SNR configuration would be +9180101003, where we are going to put a uh, remote destination to the Teams number is star +9180101003. So what we are saying in this SNR remote destination, okay, if any call comes to this phone, you send the call to star +91801003. Now, as we are prefixing a star, what we are going to do is we are going to remove the star on the route pattern. The reason why we are removing this star on the route pattern is because Teams will not understand the star when the call is being sent from the call manager, right? So Teams has to understand the DID as in this format +9180101000 XXX. So if we are sending the call as star +91801000 series, it will reject the call, stating that this number does not exist. So we have to make sure that we are removing this star from the route pattern, and we send the call as +91801010XXX to the audio codes, and audio codes will send this call to the Teams. Okay, so likewise, on the team side, what we are going to do is configuration is on the Teams, there is some configuration on the call answering rules, which sorry, the spelling is wrong here. It should be answering rules, where we are going to do simultaneous ring on the Teams, where we are saying, okay, any call comes to my Teams extension, you also ring on this phone. And we are going to say is you ring on this phone as plus star 9180101000 series. Okay. Again, we are sending the call as plus star 9180101000 series. As we know that this number does not exist in call manager, plus star, right? So in order for the call manager to understand this call, so we have to remove this star from the routing. So when the call comes to the either we have to do on the team side. So I'm not an expert on the team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this star on the audio codes. Otherwise, we can also remove this star on the call manager side as well, which is very easy to do. But I wanted to make use of audio codes and call managers. So I will take one example of audio codes by doing a digit manipulation, and one example here by doing a digit manipulation on the route pattern. So again, when the call is coming from the Teams, a simultaneous string, it will send the call as plus star 91801010XXX. Okay. When the audio code sees this call plus star 91801010XXX, it is going to remove this star from the number, from the invite message, and it will send the call to the call manager as +91801010XXX. Now if we don't remove this star on the audio codes, what will happen is the call manager will reject the call. Okay, I don't know about this extension, let me disconnect the call, or let me send you a not available some sort of message, right? So we have to do digit manipulation on both the ends in order to make an receive call successfully on the SNR. Okay, let's start with the basic configuration on the call manager. So as let me show you before that, I have three phones registered. So this is 10,001, which is user A's phone. This is 10,003, which is Avinash phone. And this is 10,004, which is Nikita's phone. So basically, this 10,001 will not configure any sort of SNR on this particular phone. And because this is not present in the Teams, this number is only present in the call manager. Now, in case of 10,003 and 10,004, as we have this number present in the Teams as well as the call manager. So we are going to configure SNR for 10,003 as well as 10,004 so that it will ring on Teams as well as Cisco IP phone simultaneously. Okay. So let me show you the call routing before that. So if I try to make a call to 10,004, the call should be routing. So let me call. As you see, when I made a call from 10,003 to 10,004, right? 10,004 has
10,004 has
got the
got the
call
call.
and it has worked successfully. I just wanted to show you the call routing between them. So the call routing is successfully established between each of these. And I'll not test with other phones as well. Just wanted to show you demo like the phones are registered up and running. Okay. Now let's do the configuration on the call manager. Okay. So I'll go here. Before that, I wanted to show you the phones. So if I go here and I have to show you 10,003. So 10,003 is registered here and where we have configured some basic parameters as the phone has. Along with that, the extension number and all those details and yep, the basic stuffs, right? Now, what we are going to do is we are going to assign this number to an RDP number. Okay, but before that, let me also show you about 10,004, which is Nikita's phone. So this is Nikita's phone here. So this is again with the basic configuration here, CSS partition, etc. and nothing else, right? So now let me come here, device setting and remote destination profile. So now what I'll do is I'll create a new remote destination profile. I'll make it as RDP underscore 10,003. Okay, so which is associated to Avinash. So I'll copy this name, maybe Avinash RDP. And then in this user ID, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this particular user ID 10,003 and then device pool and then assign the CSS as needed. Okay, and rerouting CSS. Okay, I'll click on save here. We have done with the basic RDP creation, but we have to associate the line here, add a new DN. So what we are going to do is we are going to select as +91 8010 10,003. So let me show you. This 10,003 is assigned to Avinash. So we are going to assign the same number to the RDP. So we'll select the partition here. So as soon as I selected the partition, it has populated all the details. Okay. I'll just save this configuration here. Go back. Now, once I'm done with the basic configuration of the RDP, now it's time for me to create a remote destination number. So I'll click here and then select RD underscore 10,003. But before that, I wanted to also tell you, before you create RD, you have to make sure like you have enabled the enable mobility on this particular page, end user page. Enable mobility should be enabled on the end user side. Okay, here also for this user also we have enabled mobility. So let's go back to the remote destination profile, select here, add a new remote destination, and then here what we are going to do is RD 10,003. Now it is asking me for a destination number. As you know that our destination number is +918010,003. But on the call manager side, what we are going to do is we are going to prefix with a star, which we are going to remove it in the route pattern itself. So the route pattern will be star +91801010xxx, and we are going to remove the star from the route pattern and send the call as to the teams as +91801010xxx. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll give this number as star +91801010,003. Okay, so this is what we have given, and then we have to create a pattern which will match this particular number rule. Okay, we have to create a pattern which will match this. So in the timer, I'll make it as 0.1 and then remaining all settings, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to Now associate this particular RDP profile with this RD. Let's click on save. Now likewise, we'll create one more account RDP profile for Nikita. Come here, or I'll select new 10,004, and then here we'll associate Nikita's extension, device pool, and then assign the CSS as required. Okay, click on save. Now we have to associate Nikita's phone number 10,004, which is going to be her extension on the Cisco IP phone, and all the information has been populated. Okay, I'll click on save now. So as we have done with the RDP configuration, now we have to associate a remote destination with this particular RDP. So we'll create a remote destination as 10,004. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create a owner user ID, and the owner, sorry, not owner user ID, but a destination number. We'll make the destination number as star plus 918010 10,004. Okay. So again, as I said, like we are going to create a pattern which will match this pattern. And then here we are going to make it as 0 0.1 in the wait timer. So this wait timer is what it says is wait 0 0.1 seconds before ringing this phone when my business line is dialed. So, so this is the configuration. So click on save, and finally associate this remote destination profile. Okay, now we have done this part. Now it's time for us to create a route pattern which will go to audio codes. So as you see here, we already have a route pattern, and this route pattern is for your normal calls. So that means if somebody is dialing a number, let's say if there's no extension configured on the call managers. Let's say this 10,001 is trying to dial, let's say 10,005, for example, and this 10,005 is not configured here, right? So what will happen is it will match this particular route pattern and send the calls to Teams. Okay. So this is something which we have done in our last video. So I'm sure you have gone through it. If not, then you can go through that video again and see how this configuration was done. Anyways, so what we are saying here is we are going to what we are going to do is we have copied this pattern, and then what we are going to do is we are going to put a star dot, and then on this discard digit we'll do pre-dot. So what this means is when the call will hit this pattern, it will discard this star from the call and send the call as plus 918010xxx. Okay, I'll give a description. Okay, so click on save. Just to reiterate, let me show you again. So when the call from the RTP, when the call comes as plus 918010,004, sorry, star plus 918010,004, what it is going to do is it is going to remove the star and send the calls as plus 91801010xxx, whatever the number is. Okay, so we have pointed it to the audio codes trunk. Now we have done one part of configuration on the call manager. So this particular portion is done. So now we have to do another part of configuration in the Teams. So we have to go to this particular users and do the simultaneous ring on this particular extension. So how do we do that? So come here and then click on uh, this particular option, do not forward, more settings, and then here you see this option is calls ring me and forward my calls. So if you want to forward all the calls to the voicemail, you can do that. If you want, uh, or if you want the call to ring on this particular extension, you can do that as well. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are saying that, okay, any calls coming to Teams, You also send the call to plus star 918010,004. And so again, the teams will send the call as plus star 918010xxx to the call manager. But as the call manager does not understand this plus star, right? So we have to remove this star somewhere, either in the call manager or in the audio codes. So in this video, we are going to use audio codes to remove this rule. However, this rule can also be removed in the call manager also. But we are not going to utilize the call manager for this part of testing to remove this rule. So we are going to do this digit manipulation on the audio codes. Okay. Now, again, what I'm trying to say is this particular user extension is Nikita's extension. So what we are saying here is, okay, calls ring me. So we are saying simultaneously ring on this particular number where we are going to remove this star from the on the audio codes and send this call as plus 918010,004 to the call manager. When the call comes to the call manager, it'll see, okay, this number belongs to Nikita. Let me send the call to Nikita. Okay, so this is the configuration, and we'll save this configuration. Okay, let's verify this if it was saved properly. More settings, yeah, it was saved. So this is, I have used it for testing. You can also set this also ring on for your configuration. So, but I have already used this as part of the testing previously. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we have to make some configuration on the audio codes in order to remove this rule star from the audio codes. So let me log into the audio codes, message manipulation. So this is the rule I was talking about. So we have to use this particular rule, remove star from the call forwarding in case of SNR, where we are going to use the regex command, and we are going to check for the host portion and modify the rule. Okay. And then what we are going to do is let's disable this rule for now. I'm not going to call this rule anywhere. Let's see what happens if this rule is not being called. Okay. I will clear up the session here on the Audiocodes syslog viewer, and then I'm going to make a call. Let's say from this 10,004, 10,001 to 10,004. What this means is if I'm calling from 10,001 to 10,004, it should ring on Nikita's Cisco IP phone as well as it should ring on Nikita's Teams as well. So let's see that. So this is 10,001 and this is 10,004. Okay. So this 10,001 is here and this 10,004 is 4 is here. And also this extension belongs to Nikita, this particular extension on the Teams. Okay, so ideally this particular Teams application and this phone should ring when 10,001 is calling. Let's see that. So as you see, the call is ringing here on the IP phone, as well as you see here, the call is ringing on the Teams as well. So there is a call from user A. Let me answer the call on the Teams. Okay,
Okay,
you
you
see
see,
the
the
connection has been
connection has been
successfully
successfully
established
established
between this
between this
Teams
Teams
as well
as
as
well
this
as this
Cisco IP
Cisco
phone.
IP phone.
And you see
And you see
this
this
session is
session
more
is more
active
active
on
on
Nikita's
Nikita's
Cisco IP
Cisco IP
phone, which is
phone, which is
10,004.
10,004.
So the
So the
session is
session is
active
active
between
between
this
this
10,001
10,001
and
and
Nikita's
Nikita's
10,004
10,004
Teams
Teams
number.
number.
Okay,
Okay,
so what I'm
so
going
what
to
I'm
do
going
is
to
I'm
do is
going to
I'm going to
disconnect the
disconnect
call.
the call.
So now I wanted to show you something in the call logs. So if you see here in the call logs right now, first the call was made from the Cisco IP phone, which is registered to this call manager, to the audio codes, and audio codes send this call to the Teams. Okay, and there was another call which was sent back from the Teams to the audio codes and back to the call manager. But if you see here, it was trying to sort of a create a loop, which means this guy made a call to Nikita's phone here. So what Nikita's phone did was this Teams also tried ringing up back on 10,000 phone 4 here. Okay. So when this call came here, it rang here and then it also tried ringing on 10,000 phone 4 here. But what happened was, let me show you that. So if you see here, there was an invite which was sent as a star. So as this is a star asterisk, right? So due to this, the call was not found on the call manager. So which means as this rule was not being called by the audio codes, so the call was sent as plus star 918010,004. And as this number is not present in the call manager plus star 9180110004, it rejected the call stating that 404 not found because this number is not present. Now, let's apply this rule and see what happens if you apply this rule. Okay, I'll go here and apply this rule. Okay, and save this configuration. Now, let me clear up the logs here. We'll use the same scenario from 10,004, 10,001, we'll dial 10,004. As you see here, again, there are two calls. It seems that there is a loop. So one call is active between user A on the Cisco IP phone. One call, two calls are coming on the Teams. You see, it seems it is creating a loop, right? So if I have to show you the logs here, see, first call was made from the call manager to the Teams. Okay. Second call came from the Teams to the call manager. Third call came from the uh, call manager to the Teams. And fourth call was not allowed because I did not have that license. Otherwise, it would have created many loops, right? So there are two things to understand. First is one, we have to apply this rule in such a way that that asterisk is removed when the call is being received from the uh, Teams to the call manager. So let me show you that. So as you see here, when the call received from the Teams to the call manager, it has come as invite say plus star 918010,004, and we have taken care of the star asterisk removal. So if you see here, when the call went to the call manager, the asterisk was removed. So which we have taken care with this particular message manipulation. The next thing, the next concerning thing is the loop. So if I had, let's say, 100 license, it would have created 100 loop calls or 100 calls in loop. So now how do we tackle this scenario of the loop, right? So we have to tackle it somehow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in back to the call manager and do some configuration on the phone. So for example, 10,003, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say maximum number of calls is 1 and busy trigger is 1. Okay, so we are going to send a busy tone as soon as another call comes in on the call manager. We'll click on save. Okay, now the same thing we are going to do with Nikita's phone. So what will happen is as soon as this configuration already exists here. Okay, as soon as call comes in, it'll on the second call it'll send a 486, I believe, which is busy message, so that it'll not send the loop again and again. So this is what I had an idea of treating the loop in case of SNR. So we have to now go and change this particular configuration in case of RDP as well. Okay, we'll set it as 1, 1, click on save, go back. Now here on Nikita's phone as well, we are going to make it as 1, 1. So now what we have done is we have set as 1, 1 in both the cases. That means 1 in the phone as well, 1 in the RDP as well, so that it should not send another call uh, and create a loop. Okay, let me renew this session again, and then let me try making a call. Let's see what happens now. I'll make a call again. As you see, one call is appeared in Cisco IP phone. One call here is in our Teams channel. So let's see if the third call comes in. Okay, as you see, the third call has not come in. So now, in order to get it fixed, right? I mean, we have to, apply this rule. So what rule we have applied? We have said maximum number of call is 1 and maximum and the busy trigger is 1, so that it will not create any sort of loop. As soon as the first call, it sees the first call, when the second call comes in here, it'll give it busy here. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. As you see here, the first call was made from the call manager, which means this particular phone, right, 10,001, made a call to 10,004, which is Nikita's phone on the Teams as well as on the call manager. The call was sent from the call manager to the Teams, okay, with an invite message and whatnot. Next call came from the Teams to the call manager, okay. So let me repeat. First call, what we made from this particular phone was towards 10,004. So this guy called 10,004. 10,000 got 4 got a call on this on this particular Cisco phone, soft phone, as well as on this particular Teams, right? And what it did was, as soon as it got a call on this particular Teams application, using this parameter, it sent the call back to the call manager again, plus 91801010004. Okay, so the second call you see here that came from the Teams to the call manager as plus star 91801010004. Okay, and here obviously it removed the star as we have applied the manipulation rules to treat this star. But what call managers did was call managers sent a 486 busy here. Okay, so the call manager sent a 486 busy here. So after it received a busy, it did not create any further loops. Okay, so this is how we can treat the loops here in case of SNR, and we can also apply the manipulation rule in order to remove the asterisk from the invite. Okay, so this is what we have tested for from Cisco IP, from the soft phone to the Teams soft phone, right? Let's try make a reverse call or maybe another call from Teams phone, Teams application to Avinash. So what I'm trying to say here is, so we'll make another call from this Teams application to Avinash extension, so which will ring on Avinash mobile phone application, Teams application, as well as it will also ring on this particular phone. So this path we have tested by making a call from Nikita's phone to, by making a call from 10,001 to Nikita's phone. So the call rang on Nikita's Cisco phone as well as Teams phone. Now we are testing a reverse direction. So we are now trying to make a call from Nikita's phone to Avinash phone. So which will ring on this particular phone as well as this phone. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial plus 918010,003. So as we know, 10,003 belongs to Avinash. So let's make a call. As you see, the call is ringing at this moment and I'm getting a call on my cell phone, but I'm not getting a call on my Cisco phone. So let's validate why I'm not getting that. And let me check my configuration on my phone if I have done the setting or not. Let me verify that. Okay, let me do a screen recording so that you guys can also have a look. Just give me a second. Okay, so let me go back to the settings here and come to settings. And then here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on calling. And then if you see here, also ring is set as off. So we have to change this option on the phone. So what I'm going to say is for Avinash, in case of this example, right? My phone, what I'm going to say is you also ring on this particular phone. So I have to type is plus star 918010,003. Okay, and I'm going to set this up. Okay, so as you see here, plus 918010,003 is set on my phone. Now let me try making a call again from this soft phone and see if my um, Cisco IP phone as well as my Teams phone also rings. So this is Nikita's phone. I'm trying to dial my mobile number as well as my Cisco phone by making a call to Teams number. So as you see here, I hope you can see, right? So my phone is also ringing as well as my Teams phone is also ringing. So I'll answer the call here. So as soon as I answer the call, so you will notice that the call was disconnected from my Teams. Now the call has been answered here. I'll end the call. Okay. So this is how we can, do the SNR calls. So let's verify. So as you see here, or let me take a fresh log rather than confusing this. 1 second. I'll renew this. Let me take a fresh call. Make a call again. I'll answer the call here. Disconnect. Now let me show you the logs. Okay. Now with this particular scenario, we saw there was one call which has come from the Teams to the call manager. The call came in as star plus 918010,003 and we treated star here. So the call obviously went to the phone. Now in the next call, what we see here is we see there are two more calls. So one call which was sent back from the call manager to the Teams because the call manager thought that this call is for the Teams, so it routed the calls to the Teams. And in the third call, when it was trying to make the third call from the Teams to the call manager, it started giving 486 PCR. So, which means like any calls coming from the Teams to the call manager, there will be three legs or three sessions, I would say. So, first call will obviously ring on the phone and the phone will be answered, and two more calls will be done. And on the third call, when it sees that the user is busy on a call, it will stop the loop there. So it will not no more create any loop after that as soon as it sees 486 PCR. I'm sure there might be many ways or many methods to stop the loops by playing around with the forward max forward or the um, other parameters like duration kind of parafield where it more if the call has arrived after like let's say 10 seconds or 5 seconds it stop looping the call. But in this case, at least what I have observed is it'll not go beyond the third call. It'll not try to make the fourth call. It'll stop in the third call itself. When it sees 486 busy here on the call manager, because as the call was answered, so it will not try to create one more call like, so it'll stop at the third itself. So this is the way how we can, modify, the parameters on the call manager by creating a busy trigger, and also on the audio codes by applying this particular rule where we are removing the star pattern on the audio codes. Okay, so one more thing I wanted to show you. So in the Teams, right, you may not be able to apply this parameter directly. For example, as you see here, I've applied this number as star plus star 9180101004. But if you try to set it up from here, you may encounter some error. Let me try to set up a different number. Plus star 918010. Let's say I'm assigning it to 10,000. If I try to create, it will give me an error. So you see, it is not allowing me this particular format to be allowed here. So what I have to do is using PowerShell, I have to configure this rule in such a way that this rule is applied for the user. Okay, let me show you the PowerShell command. One second. Let me open up the PowerShell here. Yeah. So this is the PowerShell command which we are going to use. Get CS user calling settings, identity the username. So if you see here, right now, the forward targeting is set as this. Let's say if this is not set to this particular number, assuming this forward targeting is wrong or this is not set to this particular number, or let me set it as, mm, let me set it as this number, for example. Okay, save this configuration. Okay, now if you see here, the new number which is forwarding target is as configured as plus 91801010,000. Now let's say if we want to modify this targeting number, which is like going to be, we have to prefix a star after plus, right? So that we can forward the calls to the call manager. So in order to do that, we have to manipulate the configuration from here. So what we are going to do is we are going to configure this as set cs user calling settings identity the user email address. Sorry, I think I missed some of the parameter. Yeah. Uh, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say is forwarding enabled true. Then I'm going to say forwarding target. Sorry, target target should be plus star 9180101004. In as we know, Nikita's extension number is 10,004, right? So this is what we are going to set this as. And then we are going to set this as minus, or let's enter this. It'll ask us forwarding type. So as soon as it asks forwarding type, right, we are going to make it as simultaneous. So we have to type is simultaneous and forwarding target type. So it is asking for the forwarding target type. We'll make it as single target. Enter. So as soon as we are done with this settings, right? So now if we try to call the settings for this particular user, now instead of this number, it should have a star. It should also add a star, like it'll become plus star 9180101004. So as you see, we have successfully set the forwarding target as plus star 9180101004. So if you go back to the Teams, you will be able to see that settings reflecting. Come here, more settings. So maybe it'll take some time. Let's try it again. Yeah. So as you see, it is reflecting now. So also ring on plus star 918010 So this is how we can, create a, option of, we can create a SNR where the calls will ring on both Cisco IP phone as well as the Teams number. Okay, so just to be clear, let me reiterate, if you are trying to make a call from your call manager to Teams, so it will create two legs. So in the first leg, it will try to reach out to the Teams, and in the second leg, when the Teams tries to reach out to the call manager, it'll show 486 busy because your phone is busy at that moment. So that is what it will try to create two legs. And now in this particular case, let's say if someone is calling from Teams to the call manager, there will be three sessions. So first session will be call manager, Teams to the call manager, and next session would be from call manager back to the Teams. And in the third session, the call manager from the Teams to the call manager, where the call manager will say, okay, 486 busy here. So it will not create more than that number of sessions at that particular point of time. So in case of outbound call, only two sessions. Now, in case of inbound call from the Teams, it'll be three sessions. So I hope you like this video. If in case if you have any solutions for this to route the calls to the voicemail by any chance, do let me know your feedback comments on the comment section, and we'll see if how to figure out this and get it fixed on routing the calls to the voicemail. If it would have been call manager, we could have done some manipulation, but as I'm not very much confident or very much hands-on on the team, so I don't know what manipulations that can be applied so that the calls can be routed to the voicemail of the team. So please do share your feedback on the comment section and let me know how it goes for you. And if you have any suggestions, do let me know. All right. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day.